All right, this is 411 Sports Talk Radio, ForumRadioNetwork.com. Man, we got a lot of stuff to get into. Um, Dak Prescott, we got to get to the injury of Dak Prescott. We've got to get into the coach firings. Dan Quinn got fired for the Atlanta Falcons. We got a lot of stuff to get into. So I'm the bench warmer. I got the professor with me. So let's
Yeah.
start it off. Uh, the Dan Quinn firing. He just locked off. Um, I wonder, was that expected? And should the Cowboys take a same page from should the Cowboys take the same page because they barely beat the New York Giants. But let's talk about the game, Dan Quinn firing. What do you think about that?
It was time. It was time for him to. I didn't expect the GM to get fired, but I said after the 0-4 start that if he lost again, then it was a chance that he was going to end up getting the pink slip. It's you just don't lose leads the way this team has, especially in the fourth quarter when you have the talent to be up, but you couldn't stay up without the opposing team coming back. So you clearly we knew it was an issue within the locker room itself or just team chemistry, and he got fired. That's what happens when you start 0-5 for a team that's as talented as Atlanta.
Yeah, what's funny to me is they tried to do the Greg the Greg Zerline kick. Remember they tried I actually saw that what watching bits and pieces of that game. They tried to do the onside kick the way he did the
I call
onside
it the
kick.
watermelon kick.
Yeah, the watermelon kick. They tried to do the watermelon kick and it didn't work because they didn't know how to kick it.
No.
So you got that. We can talk about the Dak Prescott injury. Which was, man, when he went down. Wow. I'm sitting there thinking, okay, you know, is it a high ankle sprain, or is it as bad as we think it is? He's going to be out. Dak Prescott will be out for 4 to 6 months. So that means he's not coming back this year, and he's coming back next year. But we'll see where he's going to be at. But now, what is this Cowboy team? Where are they? You got Andy Dalton, who is serviceable backup to Dak Prescott. Um, does the offense, does the offense pick up where they left off, or are we losing things from Dak Prescott? So my question is, how does Andy Dalton, what does Andy Dalton bring? And I heard a interview with with Ezekiel Elliott, and it's almost like he didn't know what Dak Prescott brought to the table. I mean, I'm sorry, not Dak Prescott. He didn't know what Ezekiel Elliott didn't know what Andy Dalton brings to the table. What do you think about that? Okay, so my thoughts are that Andy Dalton was not necessarily a part of the Cowboys offense. So, but Andy Dalton's 9 years has been I mean, they've been good with Cincinnati, and then sometimes you got sometimes the coaching staff. I've always thought that Cincinnati was not a great team anyway. So, what do you think about Andy Dalton coming in and to replace Dak Prescott?
Well, that's why you signed him because he's an upgrade over Cooper Rush
Right.
easily. Um, you got 9 years of skin on the wall. You've been to 3 Pro Bowls. You led your team to the playoffs. The only issue is the talent that he had around him in Cincinnati is really nothing like the talent that he has here with the Cowboys. And yes, he had AJ Green. Yes, he had Joe Mixon, um, among other players. But you have a lot more players on this team: Amari Cooper, Ezekiel Elliott, Michael Gallup, now CeeDee Lamb.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you have a lot more talent. I'm not worried about Andy Dalton. This is the very reason why you brought him here, because if Dak did get hurt, even though he did not miss an NFL game up until now, you want to make sure you don't lose momentum if you have any as the season progressed. And we saw Dalton when he relieved Dak Prescott. We saw him making the throws that he made to Michael Gallup twice in that game
Oh yeah,
in the
yeah.
fourth
Oh,
quarter.
yeah.
And he throws a nice ball. He throws a
Mm-hmm.
nice ball. He looks shaky, obviously, because he needs more time to get acquainted and get used to his players and stuff. But for him to come in out of nowhere like that and perform the way he did speaks of his experience. So
Yeah.
if anything, the offense may change a little bit, might rely on Zeke just a tad bit more, but this is something that he's been through before. We'll be okay. We'll be all right.
Okay. So let's go around the league real quick.
Okay.
What do you think about what do you think about Cleveland? Cleveland's 4-1. What do you think about Cleveland?
Well, they're a different looking football team. And we said with the talent that they started to have, I mean, they had all those draft picks within the last 6 years, mainly in the first round. The thing is, they needed a brass.
Mm-hmm.
The brass is what is getting this team.
Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And with the talent, you still wasn't succeeding. So it starts at the top. And the head coach that
Yeah. So let me ask you a question. Um, Kansas City loses their first game, 40-32 versus the Raiders. Raiders are really, really making some moves. They're making some strides. Um, Raiders right now, they are. Let's see. The Raiders right now are 4-1, right? Raiders are really, really showing their poise.
I didn't.
Yeah, I didn't think the Raiders would be that
Well,
good.
they just like the Cleveland. It's like the Cleveland Browns. It was a matter of you getting brass
Mm-hmm.
that starts at the top. John Gruden, Mike Mayock.
Yeah,
And we all know who Mike Mayock is. He's the voice that we're used to when it comes to the NFL draft and collegiate players entering the NFL. That's a great evaluator of talent. So you got a new GM, a new head coach, and when Al Davis passed, his son took over. That's your new brass.
yeah.
So like the Browns, the Raiders are succeeding because you got people at the top that are making the right moves and drafting the right players, just like Cleveland is. They're the
New
same situations as the Browns.
new chemistry, new chemistry, and then
Yes.
you have Chicago, who's 4-1. Which you never thought Chicago would be 4-1, with a makeshift, I would say makeshift quarterbacking lineup. So you start Trubisky, and then you bench him, and you say, okay, Nick Foles, you're a guy. And Chicago is 4-1. You know, that division is going to be pretty tough. You have who you have in that division?
Well,
You
again,
have Chicago, you have Minnesota. Who that's the other question too, is why is Minnesota not getting anything done?
well, it could be time for a head coaching change. They're not getting anything done for one because I believe that the loss of Stephon Diggs is a lot bigger than what people are saying it to be. Um, And also, their defense was a defense you relied upon. Now the defense is not playing as good as you expect them to.
Right.
But then you got Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins has very inconsistent quarterback play back there, and this is a dude that signed that $84 million deal, all of it guaranteed, and this is the results that you're getting. I think that um, for starters, a lot of their inability to be successful is the inconsistent quarterback play of Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
One example is that is a Colts game that I keep going back to. He was 11 of 13 for 116 yards, no touchdowns, and 3 picks the whole game. So it's and we saw this last year with Cousins. He'll come on and give you 350 in the air, 4 TDs, and the next week he is just horrible. So there's not consistent quarterback play when it comes to the Minnesota Vikings. And then the loss of Stephon Diggs, as you see what he's doing in Buffalo right now, the loss of Stephon Diggs to me was a lot more than what people are making it out to be.
Yeah. Speaking of Buffalo, let's talk about Buffalo. Buffalo might be looking at their first play. Was that their first playoff attendance? Because Buffalo is actually looking pretty good. Right now, they're up 21. Well, Tennessee is beating them 21-10, which begs the question. But Tennessee is winning right now. I mean, but Buffalo overall, they're looking pretty good.
They're looking
You
real
know,
good.
yeah, and then you have you have God dog it. I hate when I do this. You have a Stephon Diggs, and then you have a Cole Beasley. You know, Josh Allen. You know, is playing pretty good too. You know, you've got they got a star-studded lineup that's looking nice.
Yes, and with the addition of Stephon Diggs, improved their passing game, which is one of the reasons why Josh Allen, or one of the small reasons why Josh Allen looks better than what he did in previous years, because he has a wide receiver one on his team to go along with Cole Beasley, to go along with John Brown. So, and then he has a nice running game with Devin Singletary.
Yeah.
So, but clearly, Stephon Diggs increased their area attack, and you see the results of that just by looking at Josh Allen's numbers through 4 weeks right now.
Yeah, and right now, like I said, they're down. Tennessee is up 21-10, but Tennessee still has a good team too.
Yeah, they have a pretty good football team.
Yeah, Tennessee is starting to, and next week Tennessee plays the Houston Texans. Let's talk about the Houston Texans. What's going on with them? Is that the absence of their star receiver? Because the quarterback ain't getting nothing done.
Well, we talked about this last week. You just don't trade DeAndre Hopkins. He's your wide receiver one.
Yeah.
And with his loss, you really didn't replace him. You really didn't replace him at all. And so, with that being said, Deshaun Watt, why am I getting Hopkins? And Deshaun Watson is struggling. He's struggling offensively, and the loss of DeAndre Hopkins was huge. And now he's reaping those benefits with Kyler Murray, quarterback in Arizona. So that team right there. Now they did Romeo Crennel.
I was gonna say
interim, and
what do you think about them replacing? Because like we talked about Dan Quinn. We didn't talk about Romeo Crennel, who replaced the quarterback. So the quarterback in Houston got canned. Now you got Romeo Crennel. What do you think about the whole dynamic of how the team is going to move forward? I've never been a fan of replacing the coach, mid-season or half the season, because that's what the players are used to. But was this time? I mean, maybe the coach has been there too long. Is this time?
No, I think they need a head coaching change because Bill O'Brien's philosophy in Houston was a philosophy that a lot of some of the players in the locker room wasn't agreeing to. They didn't say anything in the beginning, but things got frustrating in the end. And as you heard, we were reading stories about how arguments came about in the locker room that included J.J. Watt.
Hmm.
So, but now he's out of there, and you saw the results. And now their top receiver is a receiver that we've heard of before, and that's Brandon Cooks. Now, I'm not
Hmm.
saying Brandon Cooks is DeAndre Hopkins, but when you catch 8 balls for 161 yards and a touchdown, that says a lot. So, again, we'll see.
Yeah, but so did they replace him? Did they replace the coach because he was also the GM? I mean, I would have never traded with your top receivers. Never.
I think the Texans realized they made a mistake when they gave the GM title tag to Bill O'Brien, and then you saw after that happened, the team just went downhill from there. So
Just
I
plummeted.
think they
Yeah,
made us. They just go ahead and get rid of them and just start over. You know, not to make that same mistake again of
and,
getting them
and,
that
and
title.
yeah, and guess what? Your star running back, Adrian Johnson is. I mean, David. I'm sorry, David Johnson. Your star running back is on that team now.
Yes, yes, he is. And he almost had 100 yards in that game. So 100 yards rushing in that game. So hey, they give him the rock, and you starting to see results. So
Mhm.
we'll
Notice I say
see.
that's your star running back
Yes,
because
because he
you.
was he was that same running back when he was behind the offensive line of the Cardinals with Carson Palmer.
Yeah,
And we
I'm
all
saying you
we
got
all saw how productive he
you
was.
have star players like one is Carson Palmer, other one is David Johnson. You got a couple of star players that you know you ride the bandwagon with those star players.
Right.
You know, I don't know who your receivers are. I haven't seen your star receivers, but it's gonna
I
come out in
don't
the flesh.
I, I don't have any favorites yet.
No favorites and receivers. What about Larry Johnson?
No, 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 no,
Okay,
no,
so while we
no.
while we
I
on the
don't have
subject,
any.
what about C.D. Lamb?
I said this when we drafted him. I think that same month when we drafted him, I have a gut feeling we're not going to be able to keep all three receivers on the same team. Michael Gallup might be the odd man out when it's contract time for him, and I got a strange feeling the Cowboys not going to pay him. That's going to move CeeDee Lamb over from a 3 to a 2 beside Amari Cooper. I hate to
Are
say
you
it, but I just see it coming. I
are
don't
you
think the
okay with that?
Cowboys going to pay Michael. I'm okay with that because we're seeing that CeeDee Lamb is he, he's a wide receiver
he's
one. To be honest with you, he's a wide receiver one, and you know it.
yeah,
He's
he's
a
the real
wide
deal.
receiver one. He's
Yeah,
good,
he's
man.
the real deal.
He,
Yeah,
he,
yeah. C.D.
the,
Lamb
only,
is the real deal.
the only thing
He
is he has such a thin body. He has a thin frame, and he in the offseason he gonna have to put some muscle on him because we saw a couple plays where his body was slammed to the ground. He was slow getting up, but the dude got some hands, man. He know how to run routes. He got some hands, just like Amari Cooper. Well, now Amari is a lot bigger and thicker than CeeDee Lamb, so
yeah.
he's okay. But
I mean,
yeah, I
but
love Michael Gallup, man. Uh,
C.D. Lamb had
mhm.
C.D. Lamb had 8 receptions for 124 yards. If C.D. Lamb keeps doing if he keeps doing 100 some odd yards and he's catching everything they throw at him, if he keeps
Yeah.
doing 100, Amari Cooper's prediction is gonna come true. We're gonna have 3,000-yard receivers. You know, and then
Yeah.
Michael Gallup is catching everything under the sun.
Yeah.
He had four catches for 73 yards. So he's just catching everything, and that's what you want. So when you talk
Hmm.
about some star players, you talk about a Larry Fitzgerald. As far as receivers, you talk about a Larry Fitzgerald. You talk about and I know this is you don't want to do that, but Antonio Brown. I think the Cowboys have three receivers that you can put in those conversations. Easy,
Right,
easy. I mean,
right.
and with no, um, these players have no. I mean, CeeDee Lamb, Gallup, Cooper. They don't have no ego. If it comes my way, I'm gonna catch it. If it
Yeah,
don't, I won't. I'm still gonna be happy. You know,
yeah.
you don't.
And
You don't. Now
no,
go
go
ahead.
ahead. No, I was going to say, Amari is your possession receiver. He's the one that gets your first
Uh huh.
downs. He can also go deep, but you seeing the Cowboys using him a lot more as a possession type receiver when first downs are needed. Michael Gallup is all of a sudden you're a deep threat. Um, we saw the case with Andy Dalton and now Dak Prescott. When you go deep, you're going deep for Michael Gallup. And CeeDee Lamb
He's.
is your player that is going across the middle
Mm-hmm.
and running deep routes down the middle. Now he's going to get punished for that, but he may have dropped one or two passes so far this season. But yeah, CeeDee Lamb is wow. You're seeing first round talent on the field, and again, the Cowboys are lucky that he was there
Mm-hmm.
to draft when it was their time to draft. And I like Mike McCarthy's decision to draft the best player available on the board instead of what we're used to. You draft based upon need. If we drafted based upon need, then we would not have drafted CeeDee Lamb, and
All
you
right.
know
Yeah,
it.
you're right. So let me ask you a question. Uh, let's go back to the draft again, and let's talk about um when the Cowboys were able to pick up a player. Would you want CeeDee Lamb, Leighton Vander Esch, or Calvin Ridley? Because Calvin Ridley was in that part in that draft of Leighton Vander Esch.
I still want I still want Leighton Vander Esch.
Okay,
I still
I
want
was
him
gonna say the same thing.
because as you can see when he's not on the field, oh my
We're
God,
terrible. Yeah, we're
we are
terrible.
horrendous without him.
Hmm.
Every time he's on the field, and it is the same with Sean Lee. When Sean Lee
Yeah.
is on the field and when Vander Esch is on the field, the defense looks tremendously different.
Hmm.
So with Vander Esch and or Sean Lee, I would still take Vander Esch. Even though he's injury prone right now, we got the neck problems, but when he's healthy, our defense looks totally different.
So Calvin Ridley, in your mind, would have never been drafted by the Cowboys because you got Vander Esch, and then we can pick up CD Lamb 2 days later.
Right.
I mean, two years later.
Well, yeah. I mean, I can roll with that. Um,
Remember,
yeah. Okay.
I don't think the offense is going to decline because you still have those receivers. And then I believe that you're going to start watching Zeke Elliott have more influence on this offense too.
I think our offense, in some capacity, is going to start declining because our offensive line is really beat up right now.
It's it's
And and
terrible.
I've
Yeah.
and I've said before for the last 2 years, the Dallas Cowboys as an organization need to start looking for Tyron Smith's backup because his backup is not as solid as he is, but you need a top-notch left tackle to play behind Tyron Smith because if you draft a left tackle behind Tyron Smith, then that player knows at some point in the season he's going to get on the field as a starter due to Tyron
Yeah.
Smith's continual uh, uh,
Continuous. Yeah.
injuries that is now he's out for the season.
Yeah.
And we
I would
went
say he's out for the season. Yeah.
we've gone through this with him for the last 4 years now. He can't
Hmm.
stay on the field. He's always hurt. When he's on the field, he's a pro bowler, but he can't stay healthy. And his backup is nowhere as efficient as Tyron Smith. And as a result, your quarterback's getting hit and he's getting sacked. And then you
Right.
got Travis Frederick, who has retired. Now you have Lyle Collins, who is out for the
Who's out for the
season.
season? Yeah. So now
So
The offensive line is a makeshift offensive line.
Yes. The,
Yeah,
the, the, the only person you got back there that's worthy is Zach Martin.
yeah. But
Um,
wouldn't you think this is a testament of let's take this back maybe 2 years ago or 3 years ago when you only had one offensive lineman that was out, which is Tyron Smith, and Dak Prescott was getting beat up. Wouldn't this be a testament of the coaching staff that's being able to plug and play different players in different positions? Because I mean, Mike McCarthy is plugging and playing different players, and the quarterbacks are not getting beat up. Wouldn't you say that this is a testament of that?
I would agree to that.
Yeah, because they're not getting
I would agree to
they're
that.
not getting beat up. They're not getting sacked. Yeah, you got some people that's missing positions, stuff like that. But the coaching staff the offense is great. Our problem is our defense. The Cowboys defense is about half ass, half sorry as you want to make it. They play a 5-2 defense because they don't have another linebacker back there. You know, the DBs are getting beat up. They're getting tore up. So the structure should have been those five that they're playing should be getting to the quarterback, but they're not. So once you get past that, it's done deal. Um, once any running back or anybody else gets past that five-man rush, it's a done deal.
Hmm.
And this is why the Giants scored so much on the Cowboys. The Giants, who hadn't scored 30 points all three games, they come here and score 37, 38. What was the final score? They come here and score 34 points.
37-34.
Yeah, they scored 34 points, and part of that again is an interception. Um,
Hmm.
it is an interception run back because of pick six. And that's what the Cowboys got to
Right.
got to deal with is they're shooting themselves in the foot. There's not enough. Can you remember a game this season that the Cowboys just outright lost without shooting
This
themselves in the foot?
season,
Yeah, this season they just outright lost. Seattle, they could have won that game, but they had
no,
like two or three. They had,
I can't
huh?
recall.
Yeah, they had, against Seattle they had like two.
I said I can't recall a game to where. Mhm.
Yeah, so if they get their act together, they can be good.
Go ahead. Hmm.
Uh, Another surprise game that I thought um, was the Kansas City. What was that Kansas City and against? Oh, we talked about that Kansas City, the Raiders. You know, uh, does this in your mind, Kansas City and the Raiders? Are the Raiders that good? Or the Kansas City just okay? We got to settle down, and then we'll come back. You know, because my thought is, um, Kansas City can't. For me, I don't. I think Kansas City can't consistently do what they're doing, and people don't figure them out. You know, um, you gotta hold Patrick Mahomes in the pocket. You can't let him square off. You can't let him get out of the pocket. You can't let him just do a lot of run around. You hold him in the pocket, and then you got to cover receivers. That's my thinking with Kansas City, and pretty much that's what the Raiders did. But they still gave up. They still gave up 30 some odd points. They still gave up 32 points. So Kansas City's offense is still good. Their defense is what we need to talk about and we need to look at. Is Kansas City's defense is not as good as you want it to be. So that means that you'd have to ask the you'd have to ask the offense to pretty much do what the Cowboys offense has to do is score a lot of points. Yeah, you'd have to ask the offense to do what we're asking the Cowboys offense to do is score a lot of points, so the defense doesn't have to work so hard. But that doesn't make for a championship team. It makes for a team that's just going to score points. But if we're thinking defense wins championships, then we're not thinking we got to look at Kansas City and what they got going on. Because maybe Kansas City's defense is not um, the premier defense, but have we ever seen in this year? Have we seen premier defenses? You know, can you? I remember last year you could look at New England's defense and say, okay, they are top defense. Have we seen premier defenses in your mind? Okay, so in my mind, I haven't really seen top-notch defenses. And if defense wins championships, I haven't seen it. I've seen this year has been the most scored uh, a year in the NFL because teams are scoring points. I mean, look at the scores. New Orleans scores 30. Um, Tennessee is up 21-10. New Orleans scores 30. LA scores 30. Pittsburgh scores 38. Arizona scores 30. The Raiders scores 30. I'm only dealing with the teams that's winning. Uh, the Raiders score 40. Houston scores 30. Baltimore scores 27. Carolina scores 23. Miami scores 43. Dallas scores 37. Cleveland scores 32. Seattle scores 27. And Chicago is the lowest scoring team, which is 29, 20 and 19. There's no team that's losing games scoring under, you know, 20 points. So where's the
Hmm.
defense in this whole season? The defense is not there. If we wanted a high scoring game or high scoring NFL, we got it. Teams are scoring points like it's not
Hmm.
like it's nobody's business. And for me, I think that makes it a crappy season
Why's it gotta be crappy?
because there's no defense. Defense wins championships, right? We have no defense,
For the most part. Hmm.
and nobody's shutting nobody down. You know, teams are winning games based off of scoring. So there's no defense in this league.
Hmm.
What do you think? Can you see it?
It's still early in the season. I think let's just give it until after week 9 or week 10 and see what
And you're thinking defense will come around, right? Right now
they may
they're not.
come around and you may start seeing the difference.
Well, I want to see defense. I want to see teams shut down teams. I want to see
Hmm.
cornerbacks coming up, stepping up, and shutting that down. I want to see defensive linemen, sacking. As a matter of fact, how many sacks we have this year? I'm gonna go to stats and find out who's in sacks. Let's see something here in tackles, interceptions, field goals, kickoff returns. All right, so let's go to tackles. So do you realize that the most sacks this year, Aaron Donald 7.5, which is good actually, which
That's
really,
very high right now.
yeah, it is.
That's very high.
It is, yeah. So I'm gonna leave it alone. We got a bunch of comments here. So let's go to the comments here. Um, So let's go to Feemster, which is comment here. Quinn should have never been hired.
Oh man.
The players weren't buying Feemster. I mean, the players weren't buying Quinn. I was surprised it was only an ankle fracture, which I guess is a Prescott comment.
I was very surprised too.
Um,
Yeah, I was very surprised about that. The way we saw
yeah,
that.
he thought it would be in both lower legs. Uh, gotta change your offense. Dalton can't scramble like that could, which is gonna be a question though.
I agree.
Which is gonna be a question, but is can Dalton be a better passer than Dak? Let's keep going. Dalton can't see the routes to throw this quick, so maybe he can't. Then so fantasy ranks 49ers the top defense. Oh, let's go let's talk about that. So your top defense is the 49ers. Let's look at the 49ers record. The 49ers record is let's hold on 1 second. Let's talk about that for a second. 49ers their record is where at? I gotta keep going. I think the 49ers are 3-2. Yeah, the 49 no, I'm sorry, the 49ers are 2-3. So and they lost to Miami. And they got the 49ers defense is ranked number one, but they lose to Miami, which we all probably had Miami. Let's see something here. Let's go next. So, uh, and then fantasy ranks Pittsburgh Steelers is number two. You know, for the 49ers to be number one, they're 2-3. That means their offense is not as good. So the defense has to do something. So for the 49ers to be, and I'll hide this right here. So for the 49ers to be ranked number one defense, and they're 2-3, that means their offense is not necessarily good. You lose to Miami 43-17. That doesn't make you, and this is what I talk about scoring. You know, uh, if 49ers defense is ranked number one, but they're giving up 43 points to Miami, who does not necessarily have, you know, a great nucleus. You got Fitzpatrick. That's your quarterback. So you don't have a great nucleus. So my thought pattern is 49ers defense, yeah, they got to be good. But for you to give up 43 points to Miami is not good at all. Um, what do you think about the 49ers defense?
I saw Shayla's comment, and all I could think about is what Miami did to the 49ers the other day. So their defense is okay, but if you let Ryan Fitzpatrick do what he did this past Sunday, they're no different
Right.
than any other defense was talked about. So
Well,
that's
she
my
she
thought.
she, she coming back and forth. She's just hitting it. Uh, Patriots and Bears are ranked 3 and 4 respectively.
Hmm.
Let's go to those rankings and see where the Patriots are. The Patriots are actually 2-3 also. So so the Patriots are 2-2 actually, and then the Bears
Hmm.
are where are the Bears? Bears are 4-1, which okay I can get Bears defense, and the reason why I say I can get Bears defense is because they got Nick Foles as their quarterback. So the Bears better be do something good. And then she comes back with Info ranks these are top four defenses as Ravens, Chiefs, Colts, 49ers. Wait, how is she getting all this information? Let's cut all
She's
the
doing a good
chatter.
job of it.
and figure
Mm.
out why she getting all this information. Where's she getting all this information from? We're gonna have to have a silent conversation. We're gonna have to have a silent conversation. It is the 8 o'clock hour. Now we got to go into our rankings and what we actually did this week. Now,
Okay.
I don't really necessarily want to have this conversation, but y'all gonna make me have it, right? Hello, boy. I say right. We 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 get frozen, huh? Yeah. So y'all gonna make me have this conversation, and I'm gonna have it, and I'm not scared. We'll take it back. I am scared. All right. So here we go for this week's crap. I'm gonna call it crap because that's what it felt like to me. Crap. Um. Let me go here. And I didn't like this. I didn't like what was going on. I thought it was a conspiracy theory, and it's always a conspiracy theory when I'm not necessarily um, in the top standings. But here we go, and I'm being honest and truthful. I'm gonna put it all out there. This week, the winners for this week. Oh goodness! And I'm just now looking at this right here. Now, are we counting? Are we counting the Buffalo picks? Buffalo is playing right now. As a matter of fact, Buffalo is actually. Hold on, let's go here. Okay, yeah, Buffalo is actually losing to the Tennessee Titans. 21-10. It's in the third quarter, but we'll go to Buffalo. Um, we're looking at picks right now, and I don't necessarily want to do this, but I have to. Now I don't. She gives me year to date stuff. I just want week 5 stuff. Do you want to know what you did? How you did, Lewis? Okay.
I think I was 7-6.
Well, let's go down. Let's talk about it. Dr. Rock was the winner at 11 points. Noah nephew had 11 points. Alex daughter had 11 points. Ray Jerome, who is my brother-in-law, Jerome, he had 10 points. Uncle Aaron had 10 points. Kevin had 9 points. Um, Greg G Money had 9 points.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Um, Jay, brother-in-law, had 9 points. Daddy had had 8 points. My sister CJ, Cassandra had 8 points. Shelly had 8 points, and you had 7 points. Why is it not showing my point? Oh, I had 7 points, and the rest of it is auto picks. So now,
Breaking news: the New York Jets just released Le'Veon Bell.
this is who?
The Jets just released Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah, actually, he was on the chopping blocks anyway. They were trying to trade him. So
Oh, they couldn't trade him, so
They
they
had to
just flat
release him.
out released him. That says a
Yeah.
lot.
Year to date, security has 56 points. She's up. Uncle Aaron has 54 points. Philly has 51 points. Casey, my sister, has 51 points. G Money, which is her husband, I think they conspiring. I think this is conspiracy stuff. He's got 50 points. Daddy got 50. You got 49. Um,
Okay.
Dr. Rock has 49. Kevin has 49. I got 48. That means I'm 8 points down from the lead. Alex, who was doing her thing
Oh
last year,
man.
got 48. Noah has 47. Uh, Jay got 46. Jerome got 45. Keith got 34. Tamika got 25. And then, you know, and this other one, which is probably my mom, got 9. So she's not necessarily in contention.
Hmm.
So that's the point segment for the day. Uh, and I want to send out. I do want to send out condolences. I do want to send out condolences to my nephew who lost his grandfather today. So having said that,
Oh, okay. I'm
yeah,
sorry to hear that.
having said that, let's go ahead and deal with this week's picks. And hold on, make my picks. Okay, so they're not gonna. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this week's picks. You ready? Uh, so first pick we got is Chicago Bears 4-1 at the Carolina Panthers 3-2. I'm gonna let you start. Let me put it up there.
Okay.
Chicago at Carolina. Hold on. Da. There we go. The Bears 4-1 at the Panthers 3-2. Now the Bears just beat. Let's see something. Yeah, so the Bears just beat Tampa Bay 20 to
Hmm.
19, and
Hmm.
Carolina just come off a win 23-16 versus Atlanta. But remember, Atlanta just lost their head coach. So who you got? Okay, who? So as you're thinking of who you got, I'm going to go with it's at Carolina. I'm going to go with wow. I'm gonna go with Chicago because I believe Chicago is going to wind up beating the Panthers. So when you come back into the fold, we'll get your pick. Then we have, well, we can also get the securities pick if she wants to put her pick up here. Hmm. Okay, so the security, you want to put it on there? Yeah. All right. So um, security's picking the Panthers. Who you picking? All right. She got the Panthers. I'm not. I'm going. I'm going to Chicago. All right. What you got, Professor?
I got the Panthers.
Okay. Oh, we already got differences.
Can you hear me?
All
The
right.
Panthers.
So next we have the Cincinnati Bengals 1-3-1 versus the Colts 3-2. I'm going Cincinnati. Anybody want to chime in? Yeah, I'm going Cincinnati.
Can you hear me?
Uh, and oh wow, two differences. All right, security's got the Colts. He's out, so we'll bring him back in. We'll definitely bring him back in. Wow, you going the Colts? Ooh. All right, so we'll keep moving. We have the Lions at 1-3 versus Jacksonville. Oh wow, his power just went out. Okay, so I'm going to go. Hmm, got the Lions. Wow, we got three differences. Yeah, I'm going to go Detroit too. I think they're, I don't trust. I don't trust Jacksonville. You talking about Matt Patricia, and I think he just got fired too, or he's on the chopping blocks. But they got Adrian Peterson, so that works. Next we have the Falcons, the 0-5 Falcons versus the 1-4 Vikings, and the 0-5 Falcons just lost their coach. I'm gonna go. I'm going Atlanta. No, I'm sorry. I'm going to Vikings. And I said I wasn't gonna pick the Vikings again. I said I wasn't gonna do it, but I'm doing it. And security goes Vikings, and then when Professor gets back in, he'll tell us what he does. Next, we have the 1-3 Broncos versus the 2-2 Patriots, and I'm gonna go the Patriots. Now I'm talking online, so I need to know what security stat line says about this game, because I know the security got, she done went beyond me. So what does the stat line say about this game? 97% Patriots. Mm, okay, well that's easy. So I'll go. I'm going. I was going to go Patriots anyway. All right, keep it moving. The Washington football team versus the New York Giants. The 1-4 Washington Redskins or football team versus the New York Giants. Now, New York did show some stuff, and I'm not sure if it's because they was playing against the Cowboys who had a sorry defense, or is it what Tony Romo was saying? saying, hey, New York is showing some stuff. It's at New York, so I'm going to say the Giants. I'm going to pick the Giants, and security has picked the Giants too. Boy, how do I feel picking with security? I don't know. Just don't know. Going next, we have the Ravens. Baltimore Ravens 4-1 versus the Eagles 1-3. This is not even a question. I'm picking Baltimore. And yeah, I figured security picked Baltimore too, but I picked first though. So yeah, I don't think that I'm picking with the winner. I'm just picking first. I said my picks first. I said my picks first. Nobody's listening to her. I said my picks first. Um, the Cleveland Browns 4-1 versus the 4-0 Steelers. Um, this is gonna be a good game. It's at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh pulls off some stuff. Like they should have lost against the Eagles last week, but they didn't. James Conner only had 63 yards rushing from scrimmage. Uh, Juju Smith Schuster, he did have a reception. He had a reception, two TDs in the last two of his three home versus division. Chase Claypool played a really good game. He had 7 catches for 110 yards, 3 touchdowns, and rushed for a touchdown last week. Mm, I'm going. I'm going Pittsburgh. Now I don't see anybody else's pick. I'm going Pittsburgh, but let's see. Mm, I promise you, I'm not copying off of security. I promise you, I'm not. I just decided this. I read the stats. So as I'm reading the stats, this is why I make my decision. The 1-4 Texans versus the 3-0 Titans. I'm going Tennessee. See, I said that first. I don't see no comments. I said that first. I'm going Tennessee because I think the Texans are sorry. I'm going Tennessee. I see the Titans. I'm not copying. I said mine first. Next, we have, and just to keep, wow, the Titans actually are beating Buffalo 28-10. Hmm. Next, we have the. I did Texans and Tennessee. Okay, so next we have the Jets versus the Dolphins. Dolphins have been playing pretty good. The Dolphins are 2-3-1. The Jets are 0-5, and the Dolphins beat San Francisco 43-17. I'm going Miami. And I hadn't picked Miami in a long time, but I'm going Miami. So I'm gonna keep moving. Security does the same thing. She following me now. The Packers 4-0 versus the Buccaneers 3-2. I'm going Green Bay. I put mine in. I'm going Green Bay because I still don't think Drew Brees. If you did that, okay, never mind. She picks the Green Bay Packers too. Keep it moving. The Rams versus San Francisco. Rams. I'm picking before you do. Yeah, I'm picking. Still picking for you do. All right. Next. What should we do? Rams. Okay. Next, KC versus Buffalo. Hmm. Okay. Come take over real quick.
I don't know how to do it. Why do I got to get on here? All right. What's up? What's up? What's up, sports fans? I am on the board. I don't know where we going, what to pick. Um, where's the banner, honey? Where's the banner to change it? Where are we at? Okay, so we did. I don't know where you're looking. Hold on. You ain't leave me nothing to do. Um, what was the next game? Okay, let me go to week 6. Who? Buffalo and somebody. Okay, hold on. Let me see something. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Ba 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 ba. I'm loving it. Okay, what you say, Buffalo? Doggone it. Go back to that. My picks. See your pool setting. I don't want no automatic picks. Oh, that's week 5. Okay, hold on, y'all. My picks for week 6. Okay, what'd you say, Buffalo? I got Kansas City. Oh, we just did that. Kansas City 100%. Chiefs. I mean, I said 90% Chiefs. What was next? Oh, Arizona at Dallas. I got Arizona. And what do you have, bench warmer? You got Arizona. You copied me because I said it first. Arizona's in the house over Dallas. I can't believe I'm picking over my Cowboys. But with Dak out, I'm sorry, y'all. I don't trust Dalton. I just don't trust him. So I'm gonna have to go with Arizona. They are 3-2, and we are 2-3. So I'm gonna have to take Arizona over that. Okay, who's next? Did we do everybody? Yeah, have we gone over everybody? Have we gone over everybody? Okay, so yeah, I just don't think that Dallas is gonna pull it off with Dalton. I'm sorry. Um, and with that, we are done with the picks. What's up next? Did we talk about what's next, honey? We talking about the NBA? No, not yet. We're not gonna do NBA. Okay. He's back. How you gonna put me on here impromptu, dude? Yeah.
All right. So, hmm. All right. So I go Kansas City and I go Arizona. All right. Yeah. All right. So, um, this has been 401 Sports Talk Radio, 401radionetwork.com. We're gonna get into the NBA. The Lakers win. LeBron gets the MVP, which I don't think he should have gotten the MVP. I think Anthony Davis should have gotten the MVP. Um, they're playing they're playing the World Championship, the baseball World Championship at Globe Life Field in Dallas, in Arlington, yeah, Arlington, Texas. Um, I think this. Let's go back to the NBA. I think this NBA was, you know, to me, I think it was a farce. I don't trust what they've done as far as the teams. You know, I think the break that they had was I don't know. I think they messed up a lot of teams with the break. So you've got momentum coming in, and then with that momentum, you you lose that momentum as they break, and then they come back. Um, the question as far as is is LeBron the GOAT? I still say he's not. That's my own opinion. I don't think he's the GOAT. I think that LeBron is a product of. I think he's a product of his own. Let me put my own team together. So as long as he's putting his own team together, you know, he could be good or bad. You know, he put the team together in Cleveland, and everything that was done in Cleveland, that is because of LeBron. I give him that, but I just don't think that he's the GOAT. I think LeBron. Um, I think he still has some growing up to do, but the problem is that his growing up is too late because he's ending his career, and I think he's ending his career as a player that if I don't get my way, I'm gonna take my ball and go home. A lot of people won't think that. A lot of people won't agree with that, but that's on y'all. Um, I'm going to end this program by saying condolences to that Prescott. Well, not condolences. Yeah, yeah. Get well soon to that Prescott. I want to see the Cowboys defense get a lot better than what it is. Their defense is crappy. I want to see it get a lot better than what it is. What about a lot better than what it is? Um, we have now a full football season, and the only thing that's left as far as sports is baseball. But baseball has jacked up their sports so much that all we have is football. So I want to see our football. I want to see the football season continue. We got so many COVID players, so many players that's got on COVID. And then one of the questions that is, what is Dak's prognosis? Well, he's out for 4 to 6 months. So he went to surgery today. He's got out of surgery, and the surgery went well. So he's going to be out the rest of the season. So we have to deal with Andy Dalton. Now, Andy Dalton was a good quarterback for Cincinnati. I just don't think he had the I don't think he had the players around him. I don't think he had the team around him or the management around him. Hopefully, Andy Dalton can have that around him here so that the offense doesn't take a step back. He's not a running quarterback as Dak Prescott was, but the Cowboys brass never asked Dak Prescott to do a lot of running either. He just did that on his own. You know, uh, Prescott has a compound right ankle fracture and dislocation. So you know, and Dak Prescott was actually on the verge of having probably one of his better seasons than a lot of other quarterbacks. Does this hurt his contract negotiations? Stephen Jones has already reiterated this does not hurt Dak Prescott's ne- contract negotiation. They still feel like Dak Prescott is the quarterback for the future. You get these things, they happen. Dak Prescott is making $31 million. Who's mad? Let me make 31 million and get hurt. I ain't mad. Anyway, this has been 401 Sports Talk Radio ForumRadioNetwork.com. We will see you guys next week on 41 Sports Talk Radio. But we'll also see you. Hold on, got one more comment. Um, okay, Andy Dalton left with a 70 and 61 and 2 mark as a starter. Best winning percentage of any Bengals quarterback with 25 or more starts while completing 22% of his passes and 31,700 and 705 yards, 204 touchdowns, and 118 interceptions. Dungy apologized for Dak. Dungy apologized for saying Dak's injury could be a blessing in disguise. Who knows? This has been 41 Sports Talk Radio on 41radionetwork.com. I'm the bench warmer. Sorry we lost Professor, but we are out.